Yeah. I think I started it. Yep. Okay.
Don't screw it up.
Shut up.
Okay, my name is Ryan Highland. Today I'm going to try and convince you about the benefits of hunting and fishing, pretty much sportsmanship in general, and how it benefits the actual wildlife. So, to begin off, I can sympathize with the argument against it, that hunting and fishing could be seen as just sport killing, that some people, of course, you can see have a problem with. But when you get down into the numbers and effects that hunting have on conservation, I think by the end of the speech you could agree with me that it's very valuable. So to begin with, conservation, licensing and fees by themselves every year are over $790 million. On top of that, hunting organizations, easily, the most conservative estimate I found was about $500 million donated to conservation. Beyond that, there was a Pittman-Robertson Act of 1937, which 11% of every single rifle and 10% of every pistol and ammunition sold goes straight into conservation. Beyond that, another big thing that anti-hunters have a problem with, and even some hunters, a certain type of hunting, trophy hunting. You see it a lot in the media, a lot of people get lit up for it. There was some girl with a giraffe, Cecil a lion a few years back. But in these huntings, the fees just from bringing the rifle and bringing ammunition, the tags, and everything else in Africa, raise $762 million in the past 2 years and provide almost 54,000 jobs to local communities in that area. Also, hunting over there has directly increased populations of multiple species. 3 in particular have came back from the brink of extinction to now thousands, such as black rhino, where I was under 1,000 individuals, is now over 3,500. White rhinos, from less than 100 to now over 20,000. And an antelope was called the Bonte buck. You have to look it up, it's a weird looking thing. Went from about 120 to now roughly 8,000. So with these, along with that, hunting in states in Africa that allow it drastically decrease the poaching because it gives these animals a value. So instead of a farmer seeing an elephant coming through as a threat that comes through and one day destroys their field, that animal is now seen as $50,000 to $100,000 asset to the community. And on different continents, such as South America, when it comes to fishing, an arapaima was about $7,000 a trophy catch, and they don't even kill. It's just a catch, picture with it, released right back into the wild. Then there are some areas that in the past where hunting has gotten a bad name, and a lot of people look back to the Old West and what happened to the bison population. What happened to the bison population cannot be just attributed to what you see as sports hunting today. Back then what you did was a lot of market hunting. So in order to have fresh meat, you had professional hunters that went out and kept a steady supply of meat at local markets, along with the practices of which the natives used to hunt bison at the time was they'd actually take a whole herd and run it off a cliff and kill off the whole herd because there's a superstition that believed if one of these bison got away, it would go tell the others. So a lot of times they didn't even use the whole animal at that point in time. A lot of times they just wanted things like cheeks, tongues, and other things that they saw for spiritual gain, which was fine before they had the excess pressure of Westerners coming through and also habitat destruction. So that the bison did drop from ranges for estimates anywhere from 30 million to 100 million to down to less than 1,000 across the United States. Today in the wild, they're back up to around 25,000, roughly, depending on which source you go to. And here, especially if you want to look at a controversial one about coming back on as far as hunting management is the wolf population. So this I want to use an example of actually where hunting was not a big contribution. This was populations from Minnesota were around 250 to 275 by estimates, to Wisconsin here I think was down to about 14 if I remember correctly, and now we're back up over to 1,000 in Wisconsin and almost 3,000 in Minnesota, to where populations are now becoming a problem and having problems with farmers, with sheep, even young cows, and being a hit to the deer population. So this hunting could help solve, because if the population keeps growing, Minnesota, Wisconsin are either going to have to hire private hunters, professional hunters, to come in and drop the population, or start trapping, poisoning like that. So instead of doing like that, where it's going to be a cost to the community, the government, you can actually make a profit off of it by those who would like to actually go out, hunt, harvest the animal. And yes, there are a lot of arguments that a predator can be, not all of it is generally used meat-wise. Some of that is true, but then things like the cougar out west actually is hunted for meat, and is actually considered to be one of the best tasting meats you'll get your hands on. It was quite surprising to myself. But recently, states like California banned the hunting of cougars. But now the exact thing played out there was played out here with wolves, is that now they're spending large amounts of money to have professional hunters and other government officials go out and kill them, and they're actually coming down into neighborhoods in the hills surrounding cities and taking dogs and whatnot. But hopefully some of these numbers and everything, you're a little bit better informed, and hopefully if there's anybody that disagrees with me, I can maybe change your position, or at least open you up to a different view. Any questions?